All right. Brown balls. We are back in the house. How you doing, brother?
Good, good. I got my, World Cup 26 hat representing World Cup in LA here, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got the World Cup going on. Are you following it? I'm not.
I
I don't
am.
really
It just
follow
started.
soccer.
The knockout
Main.
round
Yeah.
just started. Few teams did get eliminated, so it's getting interesting. Germany's out, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's the
Already,
biggest
right?
upset so far. Germany's
Yeah.
out. So yeah, man, we'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we have a lot of NBA stuff today. Today was absolutely insane. I didn't think we were going to get this much, but there's quite a few stuff that have happened today and then over this past weekend.
Yep.
First and foremost, the biggest splash there was definitely John Morant. I think this was something that Grizzlies were already looking into, but the Grizzlies trade John Morant to the Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Huge. I mean, I don't understand one aspect of it, but I do understand where Memphis is coming from. What are your thoughts on this?
Wow, what a shocker! Shocker meaning like on Memphis side and also team that acquired John Morant, right, man?
Yeah,
Gosh, where do I start? I wanna dig into this trade, man. Do I want to start from John Morant's side, or do I want to start from the Blazers side, or man? Okay, let me just start from. Let's go back. Let's go back to the year 2023. Okay,
mm,
which is about three years ago. People argue that this guy could be face of the league at one point.
mm,
Memphis before San Antonio, it was the Memphis Grizzlies.
yeah,
Where they had John Morant, JJJ, Dylan Brooks, and Desmond Bain.
yeah,
Like a young nucleus that you can build around and be a contender for a long time. I never seen such a young nucleus just get wiped out
yeah,
by who? By John Morant.
yeah,
Right? Again, this comes down to that a player is never bigger than the franchise. A player is never bigger than a league, right? And so when John Morant got into some, legal troubles outside of basketball because he
yeah,
wanted to be a thug, like he wanted to be out there and be like, gangster, pointing guns and stuff like that, messing with that kind of stuff.
yeah,
You can't do that, man. I mean, you basically ruined your career. Luckily, he
yeah,
got paid, when we got one max contract. But now looking back at it, I mean, people, thought that John Morant was going to be the next like Allen Iverson or Derrick Rose. People compared
yeah,
him.
Jericho, yeah,
So many people, man. And so this trade going down, man, it's like a full circle, man. Like how Memphis just, little by little started tearing it down. First,
yeah,
Dylan Brooks left. After that, Desmond Bain. They got a lot of picks for him. Whoever thought that, if I would have told you that one player is going to get you 4 first round picks and one player will get you 0 first round picks, and
right,
I'll give you two names, Desmond Bain and John Morant. You were probably
yeah.
telling me that 100 out of 100, John Morant got your 4
John
first
Morant
round
can
picks.
get it. Yeah,
No, man, it was Desmond Bain who got your 4 first
yeah,
round picks. But yeah, man, that Memphis team, man, they just collapsed. It's insane. And talking about this trade, I mean, Blazers, man, I don't know. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think Blazers will go out and go get John Morant. I
yeah.
mean, I just and to be honest with you, I think this is a steal for Blazers. People don't really agree with this trade with the Blazers, but honestly, they have nothing to lose. All they gave up was Jeremy Grant's contract, man. And another
Which,
player.
yeah,
That's it.
he's productive though. He's a good player.
Yeah, but they didn't need him, right? Because they're they have Shaden Sharp and they
Mm,
have other players, wing players that they would rather want to play like Kamara and all them, right? Jeremy Grant was not in that rotation anymore after that,
mm.
right? And so, but dude, they didn't give up any first round picks, and they're getting John Morant, and John Morant is still he can still play, right? If he just gets his little
Can he
mind,
though?
if he gets his mind straight, right? And
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a big if because I don't understand. I think the Grizzlies got the best they could because John Morant's trade value had diminished. So I think they got the best trade they could probably get,
can they? I
which is
mean,
just yeah. Because nobody wants a head case like this. Like no one wants Mr. Unpredictable. He's like Brandon Ayuk of the NBA. Like you don't know what you're gonna get with this guy. This guy he went from like okay, he had the whole off the field stuff. Then he went to like I'm not gonna dunk anymore. Like he's doing all this weird stuff to like get attention, but he's also not being productive. Like he even when he was healthy last year and the game play, he wasn't very productive. The Grizzlies were not winning games because he was the Grizzlies just. I mean, they got Jeremy Grant, which I think he's a good veteran player now, good lengthy. He can pair with Cam Boozer really really well, and they can build now a solid team around it. This is probably the best they could do. I
Man,
just don't understand this from Portland's perspective. Now they have four guards that are pretty good. You have John Morant, you have Dame Lillard, you have Drew Holiday, and you have one more guy. And name was, but like you have four dudes that are legit. How are you gonna mix it in? You can't have Drew Holiday start because then what's happening to John Morant and Dame? You can't have
Drew
then
Henderson.
what's the point of having Drew Holiday if you can come off the bench? He's a defensive player, right? So I don't understand this from a Portland perspective, unless if they're already saying that Dame's not going to be good, he can come off the bench and Jaw's going to start. I understand that, but I don't think that's what most Blazer fans are looking at. So this is a kind of a head scratcher for me. I know they were pursuing Jaylen Brown. That would have made a lot of sense, right? That would have made so much sense for Blazers to go after Jaylen Brown. But John Morant, I don't get.
I love this trade from Portland's standpoint. To be honest with you, I'll explain why. But I want to go back to Memphis. What you said, this is the most they can get from John Morant right now.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. Right now, they can.
Right.
Shouldn't they? They okay, look, man. Memphis should have learned something what Charlotte did, right? There was a player in Charlotte whose market was down too. Like they probably would have got nothing for him either. And they waited, right? And this player played well, and they end up trading him to Minnesota. I'm talking about Melo, right?
Yeah.
And so his stock was down too. He wasn't really productive either, in Charlotte. And so what Memphis should have done, we'll get into that later, but what Memphis should have done, should have went to Ja, right? Because Ja still has like 3 years left in his contract. And should have just went to Ja and be like, look, man, we're giving you one more year to like kind of get your, career back on track. Look, it's not for us. Do yourself a favor if you want to stay in this league and get his mind straight and get his value a little higher, man. You telling me you couldn't even get a first round pick for this guy? You couldn't even get a second round pick for this guy? Like
nobody wants him, dude. Even what's his name? Wendy was saying this is like late last week. It's like there's not a market for John Morant. Nobody wants him, and it's not the contract thing. It's not his skill level. It's the off the field stuff. I think Memphis is now saying, look, we got a new coach. We got a bunch of new players coming in. Just get away from us. Just do us a favor and get out of our organization. You can do whatever you want somewhere else. We'll, and I think they also saved $8 million in cap because of this trade. They're like, just go. We don't care. Just go. We got 4 first round picks for Desmond Bain. We got plenty of future to go. Like, just go.
well, I get that,
right?
But
you don't want one more year of this, dude. Like even last year, he was bickering the whole
time.
Nothing
to play for. Might as well just do it. They're not going anywhere. I mean, what's the worst thing? Be back in the lottery. I mean.
But he's more of a head kid. What if his draft value goes even further below? Like, what if he becomes like a Chris Paul kind of contract where like, do I want to pay this guy $50 million and he's not good? Like, no one's gonna want that. Like, there was no. I think from Memphis' perspective, they were probably like, even if you give him one more shot, you tell him, hey, fix your attitude, make this worth your while. You can get a big contract somewhere else. I just don't see it, dude. Like, I think they were just so over it with him. They're just like, just go. Because he's the reason why Dillon Brooks left Memphis. They would have loved to keep Dillon Brooks, but because he bullied him after that playoff series against the Lakers, he left, right? And
that was just a bad decision on Memphis side of it. I mean, they shouldn't have let Dillon Brooks just walk. They could have got trade for him because they could have signed him and then traded him. He was restricted free agent.
It was because of John Morant. John Morant was the reason why they let him go. So
but I think I don't know what's happened. I defer with her, man. I disagree with you right there, man. I just think that they could have just hung on to him, and because the thing was this, right? He was injury riddled last year. He played well when he did play, right? It was still like productive, right? I'm just saying, man. There's always a way to get your stock back up, and John Morant's like so young. He's like 22, 20.
It didn't seem like it.
I know, man, but like I just think
even after the whole getting suspended by the league with the whole gun thing, he comes back. But then he started making the whole gun gestures. Then he gets suspended for that. Then he comes back and is like, "Oh, I'm not gonna dunk anymore because I'm be excited." All this stuff is just like nonstop with this guy. I'm glad Memphis finally said it. In my opinion, even though on paper it may not look good, they may lose. They lost. They could have gotten somebody out of him. I think for them to just like it's like how it was for Clippers and I guess for the Lakers too with Westbrook and Lakers. Like it's subtraction. It's addition by subtraction.
Yeah,
just get him out of here. And we'll be better.
start
Stephon
all over,
Diggs
right?
in the Bills, like same thing, like just get him out of here.
Yeah,
So it's probably one of those things. They're
yeah.
like, okay, we can get Jeremy Grant. All right, we'll take it.
I get it, man. I get it. But let's look from Portland's standpoint, right? And I look honestly, I love this move by Portland because the thing is this: they're not done yet. I'll be honest with you. There's so much shit going on with Jalen Brown, with Celtics, and all this, man.
Right.
I do feel that Portland is the leading candidate to land Jalen Brown, and by getting John Morant, now they can have Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp more expandable in trade because now they got more guards, right? And John Morant, right? So now they can include those two players, right? They can include Scoot Henderson, a young point guard, and also Shaden Sharp with a young like a shooting guard coming up, right? And a couple other players attached with a couple picks to get Jalen Brown. And then I'm just telling you, man, even if they don't get Jalen Brown, I do feel that they'll go get someone else because I agree with you. They're not gonna take 4 guards into this rotation somehow. How are you gonna play all of them, right?
Who do you try to get rid of?
You have to get rid of Shannon Sharp and Scoot. That's the guy. They got to get rid of those now. You can't keep both of them now. They're expandable now. Because you're not going to trade Dame. You're not going to trade Jaw. You just got Jaw now, right? And obviously, you're not going to trade Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday might be included going back to Celtics, but I don't think Celtics wants that contract. Again, that's the reason they traded him away in the first place like 2 years ago. So I do feel that, they would want Scoot and Shaden Sharp, And so I do feel they're not done. Look, the 2 players I do see Portland getting, man, is either Jalen Brown or they can go get Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's been on the market a lot, man, right now in trading talks.
No, he's going to Toronto.
No, I know that's what they're saying. It's not done yet, but I mean, he's going to Toronto because he'll sign a long-term extension with Toronto, right? But as a team like Portland, they don't mind a 1-year rental. They're like, okay,
no. Why would they want 1-year rental?
Because the thing is this, man,
they're not fit to win.
They'll win, right? Portland will win. Portland will be one of the favorite teams if they can add a healthy.
So right now you're saying they're contenders.
Not right now. No, not right now.
Okay, so you're saying if they add Kawhi, they're contenders.
If they can add Jalen Brown or Kawhi Leonard, see Kawhi Leonard is more of a question mark because I don't know if he can stay healthy. I'll tell you right now, if they add Jalen Brown to this rotation with this roster, they're a top 3 team. They're top 3 team.
Nope.
They're top 3.
No.
Why not?
How many basketballs are there in
one
court?
I get it, but
how many?
I don't know what happens. A lineup?
How many?
You're telling me a lineup with that? Oh man.
How many?
One
basketball.
Dude, Tapas. That's gonna be.
You're looking at just talent perspective.
I am. Yeah.
And and for me, I'm always about like the team's perspective. Look at the teams who have won the last few years. It's about role players and having the right team built around those star players. This is just a bunch of star players, and you're gonna figure it out.
No, I get it.
Dame literally is gonna demand the ball like crazy. Jaw's gonna demand the ball like crazy. Jalen Brown and Kawhi both demand the ball because they're not good shooters per se, but they are good drivers and they can create their own shots. There's not enough basketball to go around, dude. There really isn't. So I don't see it. Again, if they're planning to say that Dame's gonna take a big step back this year, and Jaw's gonna be the highlight, I get that.
Which is gonna happen. Like that's what's probably gonna happen because Dame is coming off of Achilles, right?
Right.
And Dame tore later part of his career when Dame's like 34, 35. I don't know how old is he, but he's around that age, right? So he's not like Jason Tatum who came and just boom, we're back to normal kind of thing. So Dame might not be normal, right? He might take time, right? He might take a half of season to get back where he was, right? Or maybe a whole year, who knows? So they got insurance for him as Jaw. Jaw can play more, right? So I like that move from that standpoint basically. But I want to see what Portland does, man. I want to, because you can't take you can't how you gonna play, like you said, Tapas, who are you starting and who are you benching?
Exactly.
Who are you starting?
I don't know. Like I think you need to start Drew Holiday. You need a defensive player, and one of the best because Drew Holiday off the bench is no use to you, right? Because he'll give you 20 minutes of good defense, but like I think you need him. So I just don't know how you figure out between Dame and Ja. If I was Portland, I would have a talk with Dame, be like, "Yo, off the bench, you coming off, because you come off Achilles, you're gonna take it a little bit slow, come off the bench,
Right.
you're gonna have Jaw start. That could work, but I don't know because that's not what Dame signed up for either. He wants to come out and prove himself too because of how
Yeah.
things ended in Milwaukee. He wants to be like, I'm still that guy.
Yeah.
But
It might be like a platoon kind of situation, have you heard that word before? They use that in baseball a lot, a platoon player, meaning that
yeah,
meaning that they play small, like short spurts and like
right,
interchange
together.
right away, right? And so it'll be like I want to say like Dame might start and play like a couple minutes and come out and Ja will play more, and then Dame comes back and takes for Scoot. It's like a little
Yeah.
rotation is going on basically, man. So, but man. I mean, I'm just shocked that Ja got traded, man. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying, dude. I just can't believe it.
I honestly thought he was going to the Heat. That just makes so much sense for the Heat to get Jaw, but
I don't get it. Honestly, they need a point guard, and that would have worked really well.
yeah, exactly. It would have worked. He would have fit perfectly with that team. The only thing is, I don't know if Spo and Pat really want that headache. So maybe that's probably why. But yeah, definitely the biggest splash for today, at least, was this John Morant trade. Next up, I think it was over the past weekend, and that was around Lamelo Ball going to the Timberwolves. Another questionable move again. I think the Hornets won this trade overall. They got Naz Reid, a good veteran player, and multiple pick swaps. I think pick swap was probably not what they were hoping for, but I think they realized that Lamelo Ball's ceiling was here after the play-in game. They're like, because they did better when he was not playing. That makes sense, right? So I think they realized we're not getting that much further with him. It's the move. So when this trade happened, I was like, that's a good move. The New Orleans know what they're doing. But then the next move they made, I'm just like, that was a head scratcher. I'm not sure what it was. The Miles Bridges trade. We'll get into that one next. But what are your thoughts around Ant and Lamelo Ball now joining together?
Charlotte did what I was talking about, right? Lamelo Ball's like stock was so low, man, right?
Yeah.
And luckily for them, they played well last year. They made the play-in. They had that one amazing game against Miami, and then they lost the following game, and then they got kicked out of the playing game. Lamelo, I just felt that those two trades, man, had to do with two things. One is that both of them were ready for an extension, and they did not want to pay him because Charlotte knew that this team is nowhere near in a way where they can make damage in the playoffs. Right? They're close to making the playoffs, but even if they make the playoffs, they're probably out right away. So they're like, why even financially make that type of promise and pay those two players? Right? I understood that point of view why they traded both of them away. Lamelo Ball, I was so shocked like what Minnesota gave up. To be honest with you, they gave up their draft picks, pick swaps. I just don't understand. I'm like you in this case with Blazers. I don't understand this trade for Minnesota at all. I just don't understand. Like you're giving up Naz Reid. Okay, I understood why they gave up Randall. I just completely understood. Okay, Randall, he was stopping the ball and the offense wasn't moving. I completely get it. So they wanted to move away from him and they wanted to start Naz Reid now. Because they paid him last year. And so, but now they trade Naz Reid away.
Yeah, that I didn't get that right. Why would they if they were gonna make this move? They had to move in the docket. Why not just instead of trading Naz Reid, just trade Randall? Like that would have made more sense because Naz Reid, Naz Reid and Lamelo could work.
Yeah.
I didn't
get that either. And then for the Randall trade, they had to attach a first round pick. So I didn't get that either. I'm like, what are you doing?
To get what, a second round or something like that, right?
A second round pick. And I'm like, what is Minnesota doing, right? And I personally think this doesn't make Minnesota any better in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, worse.
Look, I'll tell you right now, they'll be fun to watch in the season because when you put Anthony Edwards and Melo together, those two clowns will play hell of a game,
Right.
Because
the villains.
Yeah, not even villains. They're just clowns. They'll just like chuck threes, dunk this, do this. It's like street ball all over again, So I do feel that those two players like they'll play well during the season, but I don't know about during the playoffs, right? Yeah. And Rudy Gobert is gonna be your only center, and I guess they have this player they drafted last year who's like a power forward / center, so they're banking on him to kind of hopefully take.
Do you think they're trying to do like what Spurs are doing, like have Wemby and 4 guards.
That's what they're trying to do, basically, because they're having that, you know,
But
that,
if Gobert is not a Wemby,
see
he's not even
that,
close to
see,
Wemby.
that's what they're okay. So when they made that Gobert trade 5 years ago, whenever it was, or 4 years ago, they made that trade. They made that trade to stop and play against Denver, right?
Yeah, you'll get
Yeah, and they did. But then they forgot that OKC was coming up. So
right.
OKC has so many guards too, you know? And so now they're like, okay, let's just trade, you know, all our big mans away, keep Gobert, and, you know, just do that guard rotation. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte's point of view, man, I love this move for Charlotte. I watched this team a lot last year. This is basically Charlotte kind of, I want to say, not a rebuild, but a quick remodel, meaning that now they're saying that we want Con Knipple and we want Brandon Miller to start taking the lead for this team.
Yeah.
Because LaMelo was stopping that growth. Because LaMelo was a point guard of that team. So Brandon Miller and Con Knipple couldn't, you know, be, you know, they couldn't play their game how they wanted to, right? So I like this move because this is gonna make Con Knipple play better and Brandon Miller be, you know, bad, because Brandon Miller is really good, man. People don't realize it, he's in a small market, but man, this guy can ball, you know, and so I like this move for Charlotte. This is exactly, for me, this is exactly what you said earlier. This is like, what do you call it? Subtraction by addition, or whatever you said, addition by subtraction. Same for Charlotte. They just went, Charlotte took 5 steps forward with this trade.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
And you get Naz Reid, who's a good power forward that can shoot the 3.
They needed that stretch.
Right, exactly.
They needed that stretch forward that can shoot the ball too, you know? And then they have that young center, you know, not Bahamut, but some weird name they have. He's a good player, you know? He's a good rebounder. And so I love this trade for Charlotte, man. I mean, they got a crazy ass haul for LaMelo, man. Crazy ass haul.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I agree with that. 100% Charlotte won this by far. I just don't know what Timberwolves are thinking. I think it was Bobby Marks, I think on ESPN said, like this is a chance for Anthony Edwards to like mentor LaMelo Ball. Like, no, why would he? Because first of all, they came in the same draft class. It's not like one player is much more veteran. They both were drafted the same exact draft.
One was
class. So
one, another one was 3. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
So, yeah. So like, why would he ever want to mentor? You should be on my level already, right? So, and Ant is the last person I can think of in this entire league that would want to mentor somebody. He himself he's mature. I can't imagine Ant being like, "All right, Lamelo, I'm gonna take you under my wing. We're gonna get better." No, not gonna happen. So I think this was like a desperate move, kind of like how Milwaukee did with Giannis. Like, oh, we're gonna get you Dame Lillard. We'll figure it out after. It's like this, you know. We got you LaMelo Ball. We're gonna figure it out. But I think Ant's probably like, it's gonna be a bad season for him. Honestly, I think they're not gonna be as good. The Ant's gonna be like, all right, dude, get me out of here. What are we doing here? You got rid of. I mean, I know he was frustrated with Randall, but the moves they're making just make no sense.
Apparently, this is the move. This is the move that Ant wanted. Like, people think that this is what Ant wants, another point guard, right?
That's crazy.
So I have
a good point. I mean, not a good point guard.
I have okay. Look, so Minnesota was 6 2 years in a row. Even though they upset the Lakers the year before and they upset Denver this year, I have Minnesota falling into play now. They're not even a top 6 team in my view, at all.
In the West, yeah.
In the West, they're not top 6 at all. And I think Portland moves up in my view. That's what I think. And so Minnesota just took so many steps back. I don't get this trade, man. I just don't understand this trade. They traded 2 big man, crazy ass picks and swaps just to go get LaMelo. I just don't get this trade.
Yeah, I don't get it. It was definitely a very interesting move. And then right after this, I think it was the next year or 2 days after, Charlotte Hornets trade away Miles Bridges.
What a great
Phoenix Suns.
What a great pickup by Phoenix, man. A great pickup by Phoenix.
And this is the head scratcher. I'm like, okay, you got rid of LaMelo, you got rid of the issue. Now you can build around Knipple, Bridges, and the other guy, I forgot to mention who.
Brandon Miller,
yeah. But like, then they get rid of him. Like, what was the point?
No, I don't get it. No, because Bridges was due for an extension too, though, and they weren't gonna. They want to get something out of him, right? So they got 2 vets, right? They got Grayson Allen, which they needed, and Royce O'Neal, right? 2 vets to be in that Charlotte team because obviously they'll need vets, you know, to play with them, you know. And so that's I love what Charlotte's doing, man. All right, they got young players, and then they got this vet, you know, with Naz Reid, Grayson Allen, and Royce O'Neal, man. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. This is a
good enforcers. Yeah,
really good mixture of young and veterans, man. That's what you need, you know, because this team is gonna learn a lot, right? You know, I'm not saying they're gonna win the East. I'm saying that Charlotte will be good team. You know, they will be like hovering around 500 the whole way, and maybe might make the playoffs. You know, might surprise a lot of people and beat sixth best in the East. You know, East is not that hard. After top four, top five, East drops, as people know. And that's it, you know. And so you never know. Charlotte might just sneak in and be a 6 seed, you know. So I'm just saying, like, I love this. I love that trade, man, because I love that. Okay, I love the Miles Bridges trade for both teams. I love it for Charlotte, and I love it for Phoenix. Phoenix, dude, I'm telling you, Tapas, if Phoenix stays healthy, Phoenix is gonna be a freaking crazy team to guard. Because you're telling me you have Devin Booker, you have what's the other guard from Houston Rockets? I forgot his name. I'm blanking. But you have him, you got Dylan Brooks.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and Bridges. Dude, you have 4 guards rotation there. And that 4 guards are not like I'm talking about 6'1" guards. You're talking about like a 6'4" Dylan Brooks, a 6'6", 6'6" Dylan Brooks, 6'4" Booker. Then you have Miles Bridges with 6'7". I mean, you have all the variation of those guys who can play, man. Like, dude, I love what Phoenix Suns just did, man. Like, this team, and then they have Mark Williams as your center, right? That, with Mark Williams in the middle, with all those guard plays and small forward plays, that's just beautiful, man. I'm just telling you.
They just need a point guard.
I mean, see, that's the thing. They can... Okay, so people say that, but you have Green, and you have Dylan Brooks, and you have Booker. Right? No one handles the ball too much over there. The way they run that offense, it's not really stagnant. You know, it's like more motion movement, right? People are moving around.
I feel like Devin Booker was more successful with like Chris Paul. It was a true point guard, right? Right? Because once they had the super team with KD and Beal, and they couldn't distribute the ball quick enough, right?
I get
for everybody else. So like I think that's why maybe I agree with you. They have a really good center, Mark Williams, that I think the Lakers wanted to get. We backed out, but I think if they can find a good, decent point guard, that team could be legit.
Yeah, but dude, it worked out for them. They didn't really go much. I mean, actually, they did. They gave an unprotected 2033 pick, man. Unprotected, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah. What is it? They traded for a 13-year-old.
But the thing is, you know what's crazy, Tapas? People forget Phoenix also acquired a 2031 pick from Charlotte. So they got a first rounder with Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, I mean, you can fact check me, but I mean, I think they got a pick in return as well. Giving a pick away, but they got a pick in return as well.
Yeah. No, I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, definitely a very interesting move. I think the Charlotte is definitely just on its path to kind of do a mini, not really rebuild, but kind of like refocus. Like this is who our 2 main guys are. Lamelo wasn't really working for us with his vibe. Like he's a good athletic player, but he never wanted to play defense. He was statistically the worst defender in the league, even though he's long, he's strong, all that kind of stuff. He didn't want to play defense. So I think they're just like Ja. They're like, dude, just get out of here, you know. Like I think they definitely got a very good haul for him.
It's like a cancer in the locker room, man.
Yeah, compared to what Memphis got. But yeah, man. And then obviously, I think today we had some murmur around the Warriors kind of prepping up with. Before
we get into that, I want to save that best for last. This LeBron thing, I want to save up because I want to get into this shit, you know. But I do want to talk about one more thing. I forgot to put in the agenda. I want to talk about what OKC did. I don't know if you're aware, but OKC last week made it 2 sneaky trades, right? Mm-hmm. And they evaluated their whole team, right? And they made this 2 sneaky trade because they were at second apron, right? Mm-hmm. They actually got so much better. People don't realize, okay? So Sam Presti, man, genius, right? So he kind of, I think he analyzed the team, right? What the players he has, who he wants to keep, who he doesn't want to keep, right? So last week they traded Isaiah Joe, and they also traded Wiggins, right? Aaron Wiggins, both shooters, right? They traded both of them away, and basically got nothing in return. They only got second round back or something, right?
Yeah,
which is so smart because that put them under the second apron. Right. And what they end up doing was they felt that we needed to retain the center Hardenstein and Luke Dort today. Yeah.
And
they were able to retain both of those players because they made those 2 trades and getting off those contracts. And people don't realize OKC just retained the players they needed. Like Lou Dort, he's an enforcer. They knew that they knew he had a market value. And the funny thing is this, it was a team option of 17 million. They picked it up. It was cheap, for them. So they picked it up. And they knew that if Lou Dort became a free agent, they knew there was teams out there just to grab him because he's a good defensive player. Same thing with Hartenstein, right? There's teams out there who need center too. And he signed I want to say, I don't know the number. I think it was 3 years 65 or 3 years 75. Something he signed a deal, right? Which was great. And they were able to get those. They were able to sign those 2 players because getting off those 2 contracts. And I think they just improved, man. And then as you can see in the NBA draft last week, they drafted the best center, the 7'3" with a wingspan of 8. From Michigan, right? I mean, like, dude, the OKC is just freaking filthy, dude. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, this is what I'm saying when I said that San Antonio missed an opportunity to win a championship. Because when you get an opportunity to win, you win that championship. Because OKC is reloading. They lost in Game 7 because of Wemby. Now forget Chet Holmgren. Now they have this 7'3" center, and they have Hartenstein in the back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think about those moves, man. I loved it, to be honest with you.
No, it's very, very smart. I mean, I think you're right. I think the pieces they traded away, they weren't as influential for them. I know Isaiah Joe had a good game here and there and whatever, but like they weren't going to be in the future. They still have a very legit depth in their roster. So they're like, we can get rid of these players and try to not only rebuild for the future, but also retain our important. So I think that's very, very smart because they got a bunch of picks back for those 2 players and 2 first rounders for Isaiah Joe. I mean, there's 2 second rounders for Isaiah Joe's a steal in my opinion. So I think it's very, very smart. They definitely need to keep Lou Dort. I mean, Hartenstein is a good pickup because, like you said, with Wemby, I think Wemby is the only issue, or even Jokic for that matter. You can throw Hartenstein out there and then he gets in foul trouble. Okay, the 7'3" guy can come in. And so now you're taking the pressure off of Chet because Chet got the most crap because he couldn't guard Wemby. Now Chet's like, it's not my job anymore, dude. You got somebody else to take care of that, I'm not the Wemby guy now. And I think for him, he'll also get more confidence, be like, I'm not expected to guard Wemby anymore. We got somebody else. So I think that's also a good move for Chet. He's probably happy about this too. Like, dude, thank God,
And I still want to tell people, man, OKC lost Game 7 without their second best player.
Yeah.
So for anyone to say that OKC is not good enough, please rethink the whole thing again.
No, I agree.
I'm sorry, man. They lost. They went to Game 7 without their second best player in the Western Conference Finals, man. But hey, man, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But let's get into the big news that you're talking about.
So Draymond Green opted out. So that was the kind of signal everyone made that, okay, this is them trying to make space for LeBron and AD to come there so they can form a big 4. But all those plans are now pretty much in the gutter because they just signed Kristaps for 2 years, $40 million, which doesn't leave a lot of space to sign LeBron because they can't offer the minimum of $15 million. Right?
They technically can if they if Draymond takes a really big pay cut.
Really big pay cut? That would be huge. But
we're talking about Draymond taking like between 10 to 15 million. That's it.
You think he does it just because he's a clutch client too, right? So wouldn't you think, like, what's his name? I forgot the guy's name, but LeBron's best friend.
Yeah. Rich Paul.
Rich Paul, yeah. Wouldn't he be like, dude, I'll get you your money, man. Don't worry about it. I'll get you your money, but just take the less money, and LeBron can take the min. But do you still think it's on the table, this AD and LeBron, or do you think it's gonna be one or the other?
Well, it's still on the table.
They can potentially get AD as well.
Yeah, because they gotta understand they have the resources, right, to go get you. Because all you have to do, I mean, to be honest with you, all you have to do is throw picks at freaking Washington, right? And say, hey, we'll give you three first round picks, 2 swaps, and we'll give you a couple players, Jimmy Butler included with a salary, right? I mean, if you throw that type of Godfather offer, I mean, if you're gonna get, I mean, they gave up 2 picks for AD. If you get 3 picks in return with 2 swaps, maybe. But I mean, it's such a long ways. I don't think. See, the thing with AD is I don't know if AD is even reasonable. Like he's with Washington right now. He's due for an extension, and so the thing is this: I don't even know what situation AD is in currently in Washington. They want to keep him. That's what they're saying. But I do think that LeBron going to Warriors is a very high chance. I think and I hope he goes there. To be honest with you, if he wants to take that $15 million contract, by all means, I'm just saying this is why people never accepted LeBron, because Kobe would never do this. It goes,
hell no.
It comes all back to, why are you teaming up, man? Like, you started this, you're gonna end it off.
Yeah,
teaming up. I mean,
yeah.
Lakers upgraded their superstar, right? They took AD off and put in Luka. Like, what more can Lakers do for you, LeBron? Like, honestly, I'm speaking as a Laker fan. Would LeBron think about leaving if AD was still on the Lakers? No. Because that's his best friend. That's his boy. But dude, come on, Luka's way better than AD, and you got to upgrade a superstar. And like, you really want to leave? That's fine. I don't mind if he leaves, right? But I do feel that with Draymond taking, when he had a $27 million freaking pickup option and he declined that, I was like, dude, for him to do that, there's something up to happen with LeBron, right? Like, it's like me and you, dude. That's how LeBron and freaking Draymond are. They're very close, right? And so there's something there, man. I don't know if it's gonna come full force or not.
I hope so, man.
Me too. I really want LeBron to go to Warriors, and I want that team to melt and
it's gonna melt. Down. Yeah. I don't see, and I was watching First Things First, and Nick Wright was just gushing over it. I'm like, I don't see how that team wins. You have 4 old ass players, right? You got Draymond Green, who's already great in the face, same as LeBron, and Steph Curry is on a downward. He has been healthy in the last 2 years, and AD, who's never healthy. And you're expecting that 4 to win a championship. If this was 10 years ago, I'd be like, dude, what a super team. Holy shit, But now we're like, this is like the Karl Malone and Gary Payton of the Laker days. Like, okay, what are you going to do with these old asses, So I hope it happens, because LeBron's always gushed over playing with Steph Curry and all that kind of stuff. And Draymond's is always gushed over playing for LeBron and all that kind of stuff. So I hope it happens. They can, all 3 of them, go out into the sunset together. But yeah, and what I think Wendy said it today, that the Lakers have been calling LeBron to say, hey, we want you back. Let's make a deal. Let's figure out what's happening. And LeBron hasn't answered to them at all. And I think one of the analysts was like trying to misconstrue, saying that Lakers are not prioritizing, because they instead of signing him first, they signed Austin Reeves. And then Wendy was like, no. Let me make it very clear. Lakers have tried to talk. It's LeBron who's not answering. So it's not the Lakers' fault. It's all LeBron, which was very surprising for him to say. So I hope, again, I've been on day 1.
I know.
Just go, dude.
Just
go. I don't addition by subtraction, dude. Just go.
And I agree with you, man. I just hope he takes that. I want to see that shit. It reminds me of 2023. Do you remember that? It's 2022 or 2023 when Lakers had Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Dwight Howard, and Rondo. It's like, dude, those players, if you would have told me like 7 years ago, yeah, dude, that team is unstoppable. But you literally put in a retirement team in there, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So, dude, nothing. I hope he goes there, to be honest with you. And speaking of the Lakers, we haven't talked about the big news, man. Austin Reeves.
Go for it.
Austin Reeves. We did a pod out before that.
Or
4 years.
4 years.
4 years, 180, I think, 187 or something.
Yeah.
He got paid $40 million, basically, or $45 million. Sorry, $45 million.
Decent, yeah.
And
I think that's fine.
What's your take on that? I hate, a lot of people saying he's overpaid. Look, man, I'll tell you my take, actually, since I'm talking about it. Look, Brian Windhorst said it the best. Austin Reeves getting a $45 million contract or getting a $21 million contract was not going to hurt the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it the best. LeBron's contract is going to hurt the Lakers, depending on what he takes. Austin Reeves' cap hold is $21 million. So regardless if Austin Reeves takes $21 million or $45 million like he did, right now his cap is 21. So the Lakers are not signing Austin Reeves until everything is signed first. Right. So they can go beyond the cap to go sign Austin Reeves. When it's going to hurt the Lakers is following years, right? When he's actually making
Mhm.
that money. But by then we should have our team together, right?
Mhm.
So I don't really care. And to be honest
Yeah.
with you, you can see what happened to Detroit Pistons, right? They had a great record. They're a 60-win teams, right? When it came
Mhm.
to the playoffs, Tappers, what was the one thing they were lacking that I kept on harping on? What was the one thing they're lacking?
The second option, a legit second option.
Second scorer, right?
Yeah.
Second scorer. You need that. You need a consistent second scorer. A
Yeah.
guy in his sleep will give you 20 points, but
Yeah.
when he's not sleeping, he'll give you like 25, 26 points, right?
Mhm.
Austin Reeves was Luka's second option. Doesn't matter. I don't care what people say about LeBron. Austin Reeves was a scorer for Lakers, basically, right?
Mhm.
When Luka went to the bench, Austin Reeves took over, kind of thing. You know, he kind of held together. So you need to pay those players, right? I mean, so I'm happy Reeves got his money. He actually broke the record of a player undrafted getting paid that much. You know, so I'm glad he deserves it, man. He did his dues, and to be honest with you, right now it won't hurt the Lakers. And I don't care what people say. I love the signing. I'm glad Reeves is back, and that's all I care for. What's your take, man?
Same. No, I agree. I think you kind of have to, and it's also the league we're in. You know, even the secondary players get paid this much money. This is how it is,
Mhm.
right? And I think, and in order to keep Luca happy and make him feel comfortable, like I think you also have to build players around that he wants to play with,
Yep.
not just give him a bunch of talent and then he has figured out. He wants to play with Austin Reeves. He's always said he likes playing with him. You can see off the court the chemistry is amazing. They make a lot of TikToks together. They're like best friends, right? So you want to keep that because that's what's going to carry this team forward. That's the intangible part that you pay for. And again, I didn't. And I know a lot of people like threw Austin Reeves under the bus over his playoff, this past one. I don't blame him for that, honestly, because that the team was not built around Austin Reeves doing what he needs to do. It's around Luca, and if LeBron could do what they need to do, but Luca was unhealthy, and LeBron was kind of in and out a little bit. So I don't really blame him for whatever happens postseason. But I've been on Austin Reeves train from the beginning. I'm like, dude, just give him his money. Don't let him go anywhere. We don't want to piss off Luca either, right? It's like you giving extra money to keep Luca, and that's the
Exactly.
extra money is going towards paying Austin Reeves,
And,
essentially.
and Lakers learned their lesson like 3 years ago when they did not retain Caruso.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was a homegrown player too, undrafted and everything, and they didn't keep
Yeah,
him. And so keep the guy. And I mean, Lakers, people are, bitching about Lakers didn't do anything yet. Guys, free agency hasn't started yet. And it's so obvious that Lakers are trying to go after one of the restricted free agency centers, which is Jalen Duran or Jalen Duran,
Mhm.
whatever his name is, and Walker Kessler, right? Both
Mhm.
are super upgrade for us for center position.
Yeah,
Imagine what Luka will do to them. And so I think Lakers have enough cap space to go after one of those players and make it a little difficult for the other team to match their, offer sheet. So I like where Lakers are. Lakers are not going to do anything until they know if they can get one of the big centers because that's what Luka really wants, a center. And those two are young centers. And so I have a good feeling that we can hopefully get one of them because Jalen Duren wants to get they lowballed him, so he's pissed off. He wants a max offer, and I was talking to one of my buddy, right? He's like, "Oh, you really paid Jalen Duren 45 million. You see what he did in the playoffs?" And I told my buddy, right? I was like, "Okay, look, dude. What Detroit asked Jalen Duren to do, that's not Jalen Duren. You're not gonna make
right.
him a second option. I'm sorry. You're not gonna ask him to be that second, ahead after Kate Cunningham. You're not. Jalen Duren is not known for his offense. He's not going to be creating for himself like that. Jalen Duren is more of a third or fourth option in a good team, right? If he comes to the Lakers, he's not the first nor the second. He's going to be maybe third some nights or fourth some nights, right? Because you already know first is Luka, second is Austin, and then you have going down maybe, like that. So he'll do wonders with the Lakers, to be honest with you, because it's all about where you're positioned and what's expected of you, right? And that's why he failed in the playoffs in Detroit because Detroit expected him to average like 20 and 10. When you hell no, he's not gonna do 20 points. I mean, he's all about hustle and getting offense rebounds and putting it back up or get easy alley oops, right? And that wasn't created by Kate Cunningham, right? Luca will make those easy passes for him where he can
Yeah,
score, right? Make it so
yeah,
simple for him. So that's my point of view, that I would pay Jalen Duren because he has upsides. The Walker Kessler, man, I'm just so high on him. You know, I've been talking about Walker for so long, dude. Like, he's a legit 7'1" center that who can defend, who can actually shoot, make some shots from outside. Oh man, this guy he still hasn't like tapped into his potential yet, man. To put it that way. That's what I'm saying. So either of them, I'll be happy with.
Yeah. Because they said Duran's going to be meeting with the Kings and the Lakers.
Yes.
And I agree. I think either one of them. I would prefer Kessler because he's more of a big body center, which we kind of need even a big body. And I think he would work well with the Lakers, and we can possibly just re-sign Hachimura and make him our third option. I think that'd be a solid team.
To be honest with you, man, forget Hachimura. Honestly, this is what I would want, man. If Lakers can, right? If LeBron doesn't sign, if LeBron leaves, this is okay. Tell me if I'm reaching or not. Okay, Lakers. If LeBron leaves, right, and we trade Jared Vanderbilt and also what's his name and Ayton, right, we can create instead of 50, we can create more than $65 million, $70 million cap space. What I would do, man, I would get one of the centers, and then I'll go sign another, small forward. I'll either want Payne Watson or I would either want Kuminga. He would just decline. Atlanta just rejected his player team option. He's a free agent. So I would either go get Kuminga or I would go get Payne Watson. And yes, I would go get Rui and pay him what he wants. Think about that. Think about that squad, man. If you have, I know you think I'm.
No, I was actually gonna throw Kuminga out there. I was gonna say, like, dude, what if we get Kuminga? That'd be awesome.
Like, think about Lakers roster with Luka, Reeves, Payne or Kuminga, Rui, and then you have one of the centers, man.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
Like, that's what you want.
That's an actual team, and which I always emphasize. We need a team around Luka, not a bunch of talent. I think that makes a lot of sense because you can have Rui come off the bench, or you can have Kuminga. I think Kuminga probably I would want to start.
Yeah,
because he can be a head case if he doesn't start. But Rui come off the bench because he's used to that role as well.
Yeah, and Rui can score.
And then, and Rui can score. So I think that would make a lot of sense in my opinion. That would be a solid team because I know as far as Lakers, we have LeBron, Rui, Jackson Hayes, and Luke Kennard as our free agents. You said Rui. Is there anybody else you want to try to keep?
Do I want to keep Marcus? He played well, man. I know you're not high on him, but he played well for us when we needed him. He plays a good defensive player. The two players, the one player I really, really want to keep, man. I hope Lakers do. We always needed a shooter, and we finally got one. I want Luke Kennard. So bad, bro. Like that guy.
I would say over Smart. I would keep Kennard.
I agree. We wouldn't have won that Houston series if it wasn't for Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, the reason LeBron made that, game tying 3 in that crazy game 3 is the guy who passed him the ball was Luke Kennard. And they couldn't leave Luke Kennard open. If it was anybody else, if it was Marcus Smart throwing him the ball, LeBron's not shooting. They're going to double LeBron right away. So Luke Kennard made that. I'm telling you, man. Luke Kennard, I hope we keep him, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So let's see, man. I think this is just not. I mean, it's not. What the free agency opens tomorrow, technically, right?
Yep. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. So it's already started off hot. I can't imagine what else can happen. I think we're definitely keeping an eye on where Kawhi goes, where Jaylen Brown goes, because Jaylen Brown's definitely gonna be on the move. I think they're very, very strong about moving him going forward, and we'll see where LeBron goes.
That's the reason I wanted to pop today, man, because there's going to be so much breaking news coming up in the next 3-4 days that we weren't even talking about. This story will be back burner, man.
Yeah.
Like, the next stories coming up are going to be insane. So that's why I wanted to talk about this trades and, get some, inputs about it, reaction. So I'm glad we did this, so we needed to.
Well, I guess we'll end it there again. If something crazy happens in the next 2 days, we might do an emergency pod. You never know. So stay tuned for that. Until then, Brown Balls, we are out.